Hello everyone, good evening. I'm Shreya Dhondial. As always, it is very good to see you. It's been a milestone day in India's fight against COVID-19. 2.5 crore vaccinations in a single day. A birthday gift to the man who has led India's fight back against the deadly virus. There were a string of events planned through the day today that will continue for the next 20 days to mark Prime Minister Modi's 20 years in public life. But the icing on the cake has been record vaccinations in a single day. Over the next 30 minutes, we look at how this feat was achieved. Dr Naresh Trehan is talking to us about what it means and if India is on track to vaccinate its 94 crore adult population with both doses by the end of this year. First, the moment of celebration. This is how it started. And this is how it's going. A record 2.5 crore vaccine shots today to mark Prime Minister Modi's 71st birthday. A man who has led India's fight against COVID from the front. At 1:30 p.m., the 1 crore mark was crossed. By 5:08 p.m., it was 2 crore. And by the time the day ended, it had touched a glorious 2.5 crore. Every second, 4,000 to 5,000 people were taking the shot. Not just in cities, but in villages as well. A clear indication of vaccine eagerness replacing vaccine hesitancy.
देश के हर राज्य में 18 वर्ष से ऊपर की उम्र के सभी नागरिकों के लिए भारत सरकार राज्यों को मुफ्त वैक्सीन मुहैया कराएगी.
A trend that started becoming visible after Prime Minister Modi publicly stepped out to get his first shot. It was an occasion to celebrate, and the new Health Minister of India, Mansukh Mandavia, celebrated it with health workers at the Safdarjung Hospital in Delhi.
Thank you, all health workers. Well done, India.
Behind India's vaccination feat today is a logistical coup. A record 1.10 lakh vaccination booths were activated. Leading the way today were Bihar and Karnataka with 18 lakh jabs, followed by Uttar Pradesh and Madhya Pradesh with over 15 lakh. So far, 79 crore Indians have been vaccinated, 62% with the first dose and 20% with both doses. That is more people vaccinated than the entire Europe. The goal is to vaccinate the entire 94 crore adult population of India with both doses by the end of the year. 105 days to go. Can India do it? The signs are encouraging. India has crossed the 1 crore mark for the fourth time in less than 25 days. Today in 8 hours, 3 New Zealanders were vaccinated. Now the challenge will be to keep the momentum going beyond the Prime Minister's birthday. Dr Naresh Trehan is joining us on Debrief today. He's the MD of Medanta and one of India's best-known cardiologists. Dr Trehan, first of all, thank you very much for your time here on Debrief. This has been a magical day for India's fight against COVID-19. 2.5 crore jabs in a single day and counting. What does this moment mean for people like you who've been at the front line of the fight against COVID-19?
So it's a birthday present for our Prime Minister. But it has proven something that the Indian healthcare system can vaccinate over 2 crore people a day. So that's a proven now fact. The only limiting factor that has been is the availability of doses of vaccine. Now we are hoping as we move forward, as more and more companies are promising that they're ramping up their production, that we will have adequate vaccines available in the next week or two. So, plus also there is always concern about the children because the adult vaccination program is going along and it can be ramped up from today's example. I think that if 2 crore vaccines have become available a day, we can do that. Between the government and private sector, they have enough facilities to ramp up to that level. Second is the point that even the children's vaccines are coming up now, and that will also be very good for us. Because the whole idea is that by the middle or end of December, with this ramped up rate of vaccination, we would be able to actually vaccinate everybody who is eligible for vaccination.
Dr. Trehan, COVID is the biggest calamity the world has ever faced. At a time like this, just how important is strong leadership? We've seen, for example, how Donald Trump in America or Jair Bolsonaro in Brazil dealt with the crisis, and then there was Prime Minister Modi dealing with the crisis, leading from the front. What difference do you think that has made?
So it has been truly a leadership role, no question about that. And the fact is that when you have a person like that actually putting himself in the front, then the rest of the people also follow. So, we were working very closely with the government from the private sector at all levels. And there were like so many new things that happened that we had no experience. Nobody had experience in India or even around the world on this new virus. It had a very devastating effect on us. And then the second wave came, which surprised and shocked all of us, because we thought that with the first wave, where we were unprepared, but we quickly prepared, and there was great participation by industry, by the government, the private sector, all other ancillary services came together to fight it. Then we thought that we are now ready with the infrastructure and all the other ancillary services, and we got hit with the worst wave, the 4 lakh a day wave, which shook all of us. But again, India came out quite well from that, because there is, to have your oxygen demand go up from 2,200 tons a day to 10,000 tons a day. I mean, these are unimaginable things. So we learned that lesson. We are ready. Right now, we are concerned with the children not being vaccinated, but that also hopefully will get online very soon. And I think that this whole experience has taught us how, if we all work together and under the right leadership, that we can deliver. And I've worked very closely behind the scenes with the government. And I must say that they stayed up day and night to help take care of the patients and make up for the supplies. Like oxygen was a big thing for 3-4 weeks. We were going from hour to hour. But nowhere would you say that the government functionaries did not actually rise to the occasion. So I'm quite happy. I would give them a compliment. And of course, the leadership is leadership.
Dr. Trehan, the milestone of 2.5 crore vaccinations has come on the Prime Minister's birthday. The question is, can it be sustained? Because that really will be the key to India's success. Consistency.
No, of course, I feel that we can do it for sure. We have the capability, and now it looks like that the vaccine supplies will also be able to match that target. Once this happens, there's nothing to stop us. But we do have a problem on the ground where there are areas and pockets where there is vaccine hesitancy. So we have a lot of work to do on the ground, trying to actually make people aware of it. And it has been proven over and over again from not only from India, but all the countries, that doubly vaccinated people, they may get the virus, a small number, but when they do, 99% of them will recover without any major problem. Even they may not even require hospitalization. So the benefit of vaccine is already established in this whole pandemic. Now, why people should have any hesitation, it's hard to understand, but it is our job to actually give them enough information so that they can come to the conclusion that yes, it is actually a shield against this deadly virus. If they agree, then there is no reason, with the capability of vaccinating, the supplies of vaccine, that we cannot vaccinate our entire country by the end of December.
And finally, Dr. Trehan, as we look at the massive logistical coup really that went behind this big milestone, there were 1.10 lakh vaccine booths that were activated. I want to ask you how important or key the Prime Minister's clear communication and bold decisions have been. We've had bad days, there is no denying that, but we've had very good days as well. But the Prime Minister's communication with regard to masks or vaccines or even the lockdown has been very clear, has been very consistent, and that has helped.
Yes, I think that commitment, the boldness and the follow through with the functionaries actually made it happen that we could survive this whole onslaught. Yes, there were some problems where the labor and all suffered in the early days. Yes, but you can see civil society also came together to their rescue. So the government came together, the medical profession came together, the security services, even civil society did a huge amount of job. So together we actually made India proud. And if we can continue this vaccination, we'll even be much better off.
Dr. Trehan, always good to have you on the show. Thank you very much for joining us. Thanks very much for your time. Now, the record vaccination on the Prime Minister's birthday was only the icing on the cake. But the cake itself was pretty celebratory as well. Take a look.
A 71-foot cutout, a 71 kg laddu, 71,000 diyas, Modi ji at 71. There's Bhakti Mein Shakti, and fans of Prime Minister Narendra Modi are showering him with all their love. The celebration started the day before in his home constituency, Varanasi. A special Ganga Aarti was held, offering prayers for Prime Minister Modi on his birthday. BJP workers lit 71,000 diyas at the Kashi temple and even cut a 71 kg laddu for Modi ji. But the party didn't stop there. The theme for this year's celebration was Seva and Samarpan, keeping in line with the Prime Minister's moniker, Pradhan Sevak. The biggest gift to Prime Minister Modi came in the form of vaccinations.
वैक्सीनेशन से जुड़ा जो 25% काम था, उसकी जिम्मेदारी भी भारत सरकार उठाएगी.
India set a target of 2 crore vaccinations in a single day, bringing us one step closer to achieving his dream of 100% inoculation by the end of the year. To commemorate that, party workers in Madhya Pradesh cut a 71 feet long syringe shaped like a cake to wish Modi ji and thank him for the tika. Wishes poured in from all quarters.
दुनिया के सबसे लोकप्रिय राजनेता, इस देश के यशस्वी प्रधानमंत्री आदरणीय श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी का भी पावन जन्म दिवस है. मैं इस अवसर पर आप सबको हृदय से बधाई देता हूं, अपनी शुभकामनाएं देता हूं.
आज हमारे यशस्वी प्रधानमंत्री एवं दुनिया के सबसे लोकप्रिय जननेता आदरणीय श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी का जन्म दिवस है.
And the celebrations didn't stop there. An Odia artist, Priyanka Sahani, made an 8-foot-long painting of the Prime Minister with food grains. She said this labor of love took her over 25 hours to make. Sand artist Sudarshan Patnaik's celebrations are world famous. And this time, he made the sculpture extra special by decorating it with 2,035 seashells. In Gujarat's Mehsana, a 71-feet cutout of Prime Minister Modi was unveiled. And for the hard-working Prime Minister, birthdays aren't an excuse to take a break. This morning, he addressed the SCO summit virtually. Work is worship, and taking cues from their leader, the BJP plans to keep the Seva and Samarpan programs going for the next 20 days. With Natasha Mendon, Anisha Kumar for CNN News 18.
The BJP is celebrating 20 years of Prime Minister Modi's public life for the next 20 days. Out of those 20, he has been Prime Minister for 7 years. Here's a look back at some of his most important and impactful speeches in these last 7 years.
रात्रि को 12 बजे से वर्तमान में जारी 500 रुपए और 1000 रुपए के करेंसी नोट लीगल टेंडर नहीं रहेंगे.
As the clock struck 8 p.m. on November 8, 2016, came this one announcement, the boldest assault on black money and fake currency.
हर देश के विकास के इतिहास में ऐसे क्षण आए हैं जब एक शक्तिशाली और निर्णायक कदम की आवश्यकता महसूस की गई.
In one masterstroke, Prime Minister Modi reduced 86% of India's currency to scraps of colored paper. At midnight, the 500 and the 1000 rupee currency notes ceased to be legal tender.
इस देश ने यह वर्षों से महसूस किया है कि भ्रष्टाचार, कालाधन, जाली नोट और आतंकवाद ऐसे नासूर हैं जो देश को विकास की दौड़ में पीछे धकेलते हैं।
For years, successive governments had only talked about the black money menace without walking it. Prime Minister Modi knew all too well the role of big denomination currencies in corruption and in generating and stashing ill-gotten money. The illegal Hawa transactions and fake currencies pumped from Pakistan had crippled the country's economy. Modi Sarkar was aware of the short-term pain the move would bring to the Aam Aadmi.
इन दिनों में देशवासियों को कम से कम तकलीफ का सामना करना पड़े, इसके लिए हमने कुछ व्यवस्था की है। 500 और 1000 रुपए के पुराने नोट 10 नवंबर से लेकर 30 दिसंबर 2016 तक आप अपने बैंक या डाकघर पोस्ट ऑफिस के खाते में बिना किसी सीमा के जमा करवा सकते हैं।
While the opposition and some experts questioned the rationale of the move, saying that it would hurt the informal economy, the numbers shared by Prime Minister Modi last November speaks volumes about the success of the move. By March 2020, the deadly COVID-19 pandemic had started spreading its tentacles across India. It was time for a difficult yet decisive move. Prime Minister Modi on 24th March took the most drastic step taken anywhere in the world in the war against coronavirus.
आज रात 12 बजे से पूरे देश में, ध्यान से सुनिए, पूरे देश में आज रात 12 बजे से संपूर्ण देश में संपूर्ण लॉकडाउन होने जा रहा है।
With 4 hours of notice, 1.3 billion Indians were asked to stay in their homes for the next 21 days. In view of rising COVID cases, the government's options were limited. The audacious decision was made after talking to experts and based on experience from other countries. As painful as it was, the timely lockdown helped India counter the pandemic in a big way. According to the latest economic survey, the lockdown saved over 1 lakh precious lives while shielding nearly 37 lakh from contracting the highly contagious virus. Further, the most stringent lockdown not only helped flatten the pandemic curve, but also provide necessary time to ramp up health and testing infrastructure. On July 3rd last year, the Prime Minister made a surprise visit to a forward post in Ladakh. Because of its timing, this unprecedented visit by the country's top leader took everyone by surprise. A few days ago, on the 15th of June, India had lost 20 brave soldiers, including a commanding officer, in a deadly skirmish with the PLA at eastern Ladakh's Galwan Valley. But our braves gave it back. The worst clash with China in 53 years resulted in 43 casualties on their side.
राष्ट्र कवि रामधारी सिंह दिनकर जी ने लिखा था, जिनके सिंहनाद से सहमी, जिनके सिंहनाद से सहमी, धरती रही अभी तक डोल। कलम आज उनकी जय बोल।
A leader leading from the front, a leader who stood firmly with his soldiers as tension mounted, the leader who took the battle to China's doorsteps.
भारत माता के दुश्मनों ने आपकी फायर हुई देखी है और आपकी फ्यूरी भी।
The message for China was sharp and clear. Naya Bharat under Prime Minister Modi will not back off. With Rajiv Kumar, Ritangshu Bhattacharya for CNN News 18.
भारत माता की जय। भारत माता की।
On that, a very quick break. Up next, the many looks of Prime Minister Modi. Do stay with us. Welcome back. Clothes maketh a man. Well, not really. But Prime Minister Modi has the distinction of never having a crease out of place. At times, he has let his styles, in fact, most times he has let his style do all the talking. Shilpa Ratnam is getting us more on that. clothes maketh a man, and they can definitely make or break a leader. Prime Minister Modi's distinctive style is one of the features that sets him apart. It has evolved from the white kurta pajama to muted kurtas to his almost daily uniform today. The Modi jacket that completes the Made in India look. It's longer and has a more relaxed fit than the other political staple, the trusty but rusty Nehru jacket. The outfit and the outlook is 100% Indian, but the accessories are international. Maybach sunglasses, a Movado watch, and Montblanc pens accentuate his look. Never one to wear labels on his sleeve, the only head-to-toe label Modi ever wore was this polarizing custom-made Narendra Damodar Das Modi pinstriped suit. While it was widely criticized for being too vain, it's now remembered for contributing more than 4 crore rupees to the Clean Ganga project by way of an auction. Prime Minister Modi wears many hats quite literally, from the traditional Naga headgear to a Mysore peta, a traditional dumluk, the Hornbill festival attire. This headgear, he's tried it all. Heavy rests the head that wears these crowns, so sometimes he changes it up with a breezy Texan hat on a holiday. When he veers from his staple kurta pajama jacket, he gravitates towards the local outfits, adapting to the terrain. A muted suit for his international trips, a saffron robe for the caves of Kedarnath, and a sturdy survival outfit for man versus wild with Bear Grylls. Embroidered pashmina shawls, turbans, and even a Rudraksh mala, Prime Minister Modi has served many distinctive looks over the years. The lockdown hasn't stopped the evolution of the Prime Minister's style. The Liram scarf from Manipur served as a makeshift mask. The growing beard served as many a metaphor for both well-wishers and critics. And Prime Minister Modi lets his style do all the talking. With Shilpa Ratnam, I'm Shreya Dhondial. With that, it's a wrap on Debrief. Thanks very much for watching.